Welcome to our first ever Q&A video. This was made with the help of our patrons who emailed in some questions for us, and we are going to do our best to answer them. So thank you for all your support. So anything they want to know, we try and answer best we can. My first question that I've got for you is from Lisa and Gav, and they want to know roughly the costs of sailing. Well, for us, I haven't really been keeping track of everything we spent, and it's been a bit of an interesting year with the start being in lockdown, so we haven't done any sailing. However, we were doing some upgrades to the boat, so I've tried to break it down into three areas for you. The money we spent on food whilst we were cruising only, and also the money that was spent on mooring and fuel whilst we were cruising only. So that's from the end of July roughly to the middle to end of October. But I've also then looked at the upgrades and maintenance costs of the boat, and of course this was going on right from the very start because we were preparing the boat for being able to cruise as well. So I thought they should be included. So these are the three areas that I've got for you. First section, food. Obviously this is purely just when we were sailing from, as I said, July to October. And this is to feed all three of us because Hank was on a homemade diet throughout this time. And that roughly came to about £1,500. We tried to keep costs as low as possible, shopped cheaply, shopped local where we could, but also didn't eat out much at all really. Next is mooring and fuel costs. Again, these are purely while we were cruising, July to October, and that came to £1,425. We tried to keep mooring down to a minimum, anchored where we could, but of course there were these times where you need to go into marinas to do your general boaty things, laundry, etc, etc. And then we had some engine issues which kept us in some marinas longer than we wanted. So this spend was higher than we wanted it to be, but it was okay. And the last section, which is upgrades and maintenance, which was a huge cost this year because we made some big upgrades, including all the standing rigging, running rigging. We got new cars, tracks, furling system. We got a chest freezer so that we could pack that full when we went cruising, which is about £800 alone. We installed some solar, batteries. There was a lot that went into this one that we're hoping we won't need to repeat for a while, but that did make the grand total of £13,190. Again, that was probably more. I probably missed some bits and pieces off, but as I say, I'm hoping that will come down, and that does spread from January to now. And now to Dominic.
Okay, so this first question comes from Tracy, and Tracy asks, have you ever considered taking on crew? Yes we have, but after living on the boat for a while, I think the reality is, although a 38-foot boat isn't a tiny boat, for two of us and a dog, it's fairly cozy. And our aft cabins, they're great, if friends want to come down and stay for a night or even a weekend. But much more than that, I think, would be maybe a little too cozy. But I think, for the most part, it works really well with just the two of us and Hank. But as we get to more ambitious passages, as we start planning to head across the Biscay on our own, as we maybe think about venturing up to Iceland or something that's going to be involve several days at sea, then I think in that case we probably will take some crew with us, and we may even take some more experienced crew so we can continue to learn and grow along the way. So we haven't set anything in stone, but yeah, in some circumstances, basically yes, we have considered it. All right, anyway, next question's on Carly.
So I'm just taking Hank out for a walk, and I thought I'd tackle some more of the questions. Very cold today, hence the red nose. But my next question comes from Dave, who's asked three around the same subject, and he asks, how long can you reasonably keep your third crew member away from shore? By that I assume you mean Hank and not Dominic. He also asked, how is that impacting on your passage planning, and what training are you doing to increase that? Well, I'd say it's about 12 hours that we can reasonably keep him away from shore until he starts to get a little bit irritable, uncomfortable, and is ready to go and do his business. So in terms of that impacting on our passage planning, well, we don't really plan passages for more than 12 hours at the moment. because that then keeps him comfortable and we're all good there. But there are other things that impact, and for example, we wanted to get anchor off of Brownsea Island in Poole Harbour, and doesn't allow dogs onto Brownsea Island, so that really wasn't an option for us, because by the time we'd done a stint of a sail, Hank would be ready to go to shore and he wouldn't be allowed on there, so we had to rule out that option. In terms of training, well, we've tried all sorts, we're still trying different things. We've tried artificial lawn, we've tried like sprinkling the scent of another dog onto the deck, and nothing's really cracking it other than being out of sight of land when we're sailing. Hank seems to then feel like if he's desperate to go, he'll go on the deck. But we do give him like a urinary tract paste just to prevent any infection should he decide to hold it for any longer than that. But hopefully that answers all your questions, Dave. Back to Dominic for the next.
All right, and the next question coming into sunny old Brighton, and it is really sunny today, and it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. Not only do I not have a jacket on in the south coast of England, on Christmas Eve I'm even contemplating a little bit of sunblock. And I realise as a red-headed man I don't set the bar particularly high for the necessity of a bit of SPF. But anyway, John has emailed in and he has asked, could you please tell me the make and model of Kadawa?
How dare you!
Of course, I'm joking, John. I'm joking. It's Christmas. Kadawa is a Trident Warrior 38. She was built in the early 80s in good old Blighty. If you or anybody else would like to know an awful lot more about not just this specific make and model of boat, but also this boat and its journey and its history, then I'm going to pop a link in the description where you can find out an awful lot more, including a hand-drawn schematic made by one of our patrons. But this chap very kindly drew it for us long before we even knew what Patreon was, right at the very beginning of our journey. And all the way from the USA, one of our colonial cousins, Franz. Thank you again, Franz, for all you do. But he's done a really nice detailed drawing, and there's a load more pictures of the boat, and again, a little bit more history about it, how we found it, and why we fell in love with this particular boat. Also, if you're interested in Trident Warriors generally, and you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of every little aspect and nook and cranny of this boat, then a channel I seriously recommend is the Trident Warrior legend that is Mads over in Sail Life. So he also bought a Trident Warrior over in Scotland, as it happens, sailed it back to Denmark, and he spent the last few years doing the most magnificent refit.
Hi guys, welcome back aboard. Good old Athena.
Mads, if you're watching this, Athena is looking super spiffy. Anyway, Carly's got the next question.
So just before we get back on the boat, I thought I'd answer another question, a very important one from John and Mads. And they ask, what is Hank's favourite treat? Well, he likes most things. He's really food orientated, so it makes him really easy to train. He is like a dancing monkey. So here I'm going to show you some tricks that we taught him. Hank up, sit, next, good boy. You gonna spin? Good boy. Weave. Good boy. And that's just a few examples of many. He's been awesome. But however, right now, his favourite treats are these home-baked goodies of House of Hugo. They are super cool. They smell amazing, almost good enough, I think, for maybe a human to eat. We'll pop the link in the description below in case you want to order any of these. But they are very popular with Hank. Back to Dominic.
Okay, so I'm just pulling into a service station on the way back, and I thought I'd squeeze in another quick question. And as I say, it's Christmas Eve, so I'm racing back to get started on the wrapping of the presents, which is just a tradition. It's nothing to do with being unorganised, nothing at all. But I thought I'd squeeze in another quick question on the way back. This one comes in from Vince, and Vince has emailed in to ask, how is the power management going? Are you guys going to do any live streams at all? Probably not on the live streams. All the live streams I've been involved in have always been a bit glitchy, and you're kind of slow, constantly responding to people. They don't really have a flow, I don't think. I quite like this. So people sending in questions and we can have a little think about it and then, you know, get back to them. I think it's just quicker, flows better. Yeah, In terms of power management, the 750 watts of solar which we have on board and the 800 amp hours of battery all the time the sun is shining is no problem at all. But the truth of the matter is, when we, at the moment, we're back on shore power, and you know, if we have a few cloudy days back to back, then we might need to start the engine to give the batteries a bit of a bump. I'm not sure whether all of our batteries are great either. It probably will be worth taking them all off and testing them, but there's 8 of them and they're fairly cheap. So I'm thinking maybe upgrading to 400 amp hours of lithium batteries, just because they're smaller, lighter, take up less space, more efficient to charge. You can deplete them more, and that will just give us a similar amount of range for a lot less space being taken up, I think. But I haven't worked out the finer details. I've also been looking into some of those really silent whisper, apparently, wind turbines. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but you know, come in really handy for those days that are clouded up and you have some wind but you don't have any sun. So might help to supplement our power system. So close but no cigar. I think the power system needs some tweaking. That's the kind of roundabout way I think I'm trying to get to, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, next question, over to Carly. Thanks for that one, Vince.
So some other questions that came in from Brad are: does Hank get along with other pups and cruising pups and cats? Well, cats not so much. Dogs, yes. Bosun in Portland Marina was a good example of that. He also asks if Hank has one of those personal locator beacons for if he fell overboard, and he doesn't, but that is a great idea, and we will definitely be getting one of those for all of us, hopefully. Nothing came in for Christmas, unfortunately, so we'll probably look to invest in some of those in 2021. And the last question from Brad was, is Hank getting a GoPro mount for a pup view perspective? Well, he did have one, but unfortunately we lost it. We can't find it anywhere, but we will reinvest and look at doing one of those videos at some point for you, Brad. So hope that answers those, and now back to Dominic.
And we're back. I finished unloading all the tools. In fact, I've actually finished wrapping all the presents. We are now officially ready for Christmas. A couple of bottles of obligatory plonk. Don't mind if I do. But I thought I'd squeeze in one more question. This one was emailed in by Paul. Paul basically asked if we were planning to head to warmer climes eventually. He also asked if COVID is sort of throwing a spanner in the works of any of our plans. He also asked if we're finding life on a boat in the UK in winter difficult at all, and also observed or pointed out that roughly this time last year we sailed across the Bay of Biscay for some practice. So let me cover all of those. Yes, we did sail across Biscay end of October, beginning of November for practice. I'm not gonna lie, it probably wasn't the most fun I've ever had, ever. I'm not sure even what I learned. Actually, I know I did learn something. I learned that I am capable of being brutally seasick for 3 days back to back, and I don't die. So that was good. That was good to know. I probably won't be in a rush to repeat the experience though. So the next time we cross the Biscay, hopefully it'll be warm summertime with some favourable weather conditions. But we'll see. We'll see. Mother Nature is not always that predictable. But life on a boat is fine. Ever since we put the diesel heater in, we're in a marina as well. So we have shore power, we have warm water, and Carly's job is to make things look pretty and lovely. So we're in quite a cosy little den. I quite like it actually. On top of that, my commute is as much as walking to the end of the pontoon. I'm at work, so I can't complain. Life's all right. And then I think the last thing you mentioned was, has COVID thrown a spanner in the works? Yes, it has. It's thrown a spanner in the works for everybody. But in a weird way, I'm treading on ice, on eggshells even when I say this. I don't want to say I'm grateful for COVID, but in a twisted kind of weird way, I kind of am happy in the direction that it sent us on, because we were just planning to head to the Med. We were just going to get our boat, get it ready and go. And a few things really to think about. The year has taught us lots. The first one, that I don't think our skill level was anywhere near where it needed to be to undertake that kind of journey, so we would have been going off extremely half-cocked. The second thing really is, it would have robbed us of the opportunity to really take our time to discover the beauty that we have here at home on our doorstep, which a real love affair is kind of unfolding with Great Britain. And so none of our plans are set in stone next year because of the nature of COVID, and things are just changing and rapidly all the time. The broad strokes for next year, I think, is to go on a great British adventure and really explore all the little nooks and crannies of these coastal towns, and I'd like to go on a bit of a Celtic sort of voyage of discovery, you know, and sort of maybe head down to the Scilly Isles, head up to Ireland, spend some more time in Ireland, maybe even head back to Scotland, and if we're feeling exceptionally brave, I'd really love to sort of turn the boat and head to Iceland. But these are super broad strokes ideas, but it would be one hell of an adventure. But as has been the case all this year, and with COVID continually evolving and unfolding, who knows? Who knows? But that's roughly what we hope to do, and I hope that has answered the question. So now let's see where Carly's up to.
We got sale mail. Let's see what we got. First up, we have got this one, which is from Caro B. Finn Studio in London. You ready? I don't know what he's ready for. It doesn't look like he's ready for what's inside this box. Oh wow! Look how beautifully that's wrapped. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is beautiful. It's all hand stitched. Do you see that? All hand. Yeah. Our very own pennant. That is awesome. Hope you both like your new pennant. All the best for your adventures. Best wishes, Caro. That is stunning. It is really cool. Love that. Amazing. What do you think? What we got next? We have got this one from Tailored Hounds, and I've got a feeling this is for you. What's this? How beautiful is that? Do you like it? I think we should try it on him. Yeah. Yeah. This is from Abigail at Tailored Hounds, and they do all sorts of amazing tailored dog stuff, outdoor weather gear, jumpers, collars, beautiful, beautiful stuff based up in the Lake District. So I'll pop the link down below. Definitely go check it out if you've got a little hound like ours. Last one. This one says it is from Case Bakes. I got a feeling this one might be edible. It says get well soon, Captain. Love from Jerry and family. Oh my goodness. I'm going to bring you here. Take a look at this. That's heaven in a box. Amazing. Really, really good. Let's just try one of these. Oh my god. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea and enjoy some of these delicious cakes. But guys, thank you so, so much. These are so good. So good. I'm going to pop the link to these down below as well, so you can get yourself some amazing brownies. Case Bakes. All the links for everything will be down below because we love you guys sharing stuff with us. Check out the little companies because we love to support little independent businesses, and you've all been so kind enough to send us something, so we want to share the love back and hope we can send some business your way. We won't just put the link for anything. These are delicious. Hank loves his jumper, and that pennant is just beautiful. So thank you very much, and that is this week's sale mail. See you later, guys.
Hold on, don't stop the video yet. Some last minute parcels have turned up.
I've got more.
Santa's sack isn't empty yet.
Wowzers.
So yeah, no, these have all turned up, and I don't know what they are. This one's already kind of partially open.
Oh.
I didn't open it, it just came that way. So this says to Carly and Dominic, SV Kadawa, and it has a return address. This is from Ian Fraser. So this is the couple who
Followed in Trip a Bear.
Yeah, so that if for any of you that may or may not have seen that episode, they buddy boated with us from Poole back to the Isle of Wight when we had quite a bumpy ride in the Needles Channel. So, do you think this is going to be something on how to sort of read the weather forecast better, or how to sail downwind with the wind behind you? Maybe that feels like some knowledge in here.
Yeah, open it up. I think I know what it is.
Do you?
Yeah, they decided they weren't going to need it, and they didn't know if we would.
Ah! Just in case we have we come back this way probably, because I think we're.
Well, yeah, I mean, our plans are forever changing, but
Yeah,
we
who
did
knows?
once talk about going through the French canals, and we haven't ruled out that totally, but it's looking less likely. But even so, thank you guys.
Yeah, it might be one of the. You might find it might be one of those return trips, so we're going to keep this somewhere safe and sound. So thank you very much, guys. That's super kind of you. Next one was this. Okay, and this was sent by a chap called Peter, who is the owner of a company called Marine 16. I'm sure many of you have heard of them, but he was watching some of our videos online and basically said, I'm sorry to hear you guys are having such fuel problems. I'd like to do something to help. And he very kindly sent us some diesel bug treatment and some fuel complete. I'll read the instructions.
Excellent.
But yeah, we were recommended Marine 16 by somebody a fair few videos back in the comments section, and then, as I say, the owner has very kindly reached out and given us those for free. So
Another
thank
very
you.
useful one.
Thank you, Peter. That will no doubt come in super handy. This one has puzzled me because this turned up. This is literally just this second turned up, and it says to Captain Carly and Director Domin.
Dominic, he's...
Doesn't it? Says Domin. Look, it says, doesn't say Dom. See, sometimes people are like, what do I call you, Dom or Dominic? And I feel like whoever sent this is like, I don't know, maybe I'll meet him halfway. Domin, no, that's fair. Either or, Dom, Dominic,
I
whatever you
imagine
like.
it got cut off, but I imagine it was Dominic. Let's get in.
It's pretty well secured. I think we need a knife. Do you have a knife? Can we grab a knife?
I'll get a knife. Easy.
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Kind of box.
I'm in. Oh my goodness, I'm in.
What is it?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Are these made out? These coasters that are made out of some? Oh wow!
Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh my goodness, it's one of the epoxy tables.
Oh.
But it's like a little tray.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
That is super cool. Look, it's got like a non-slip.
Non-slip base. Hang on, let's get rid of the cloud.
Yeah.
I think we just need to fix that one.
Yeah, I need to put another little screw in there, maybe.
Yeah, just screw up.
That's easy enough to do. Oh, amazing. That's so cool.
That is awesome. So we should probably explain that we have a very good idea of who this is from.
Jeremy. You did it, didn't you? That's so cool. And so that's handmade out of reclaimed wood and epoxy and...
So Jeremy has just started a business up in the Lake District of making all these wonderful pieces of furniture, and we've been forever commenting saying how we would love to have the space for a piece of furniture. And so he's made us something that will obviously fit in the boat, unknown to us. This is a total surprise, but we love it. And that is really awesome.
That's very kind of you, Jeremy. It's very kind of you. And are these epoxy?
Yeah, it looks like it because it matches.
Yeah. So
Epoxy coasters.
very cool.
But if you're interested in any of the stuff that he makes, we'll pop the link in for that too. So
Pop a
you
link
can-
in for everyone because it's
Everything,
Christmas and we're
yeah.
having good vibes. So yeah, Jeremy, thank you very much. That's super kind of you. And yeah, anyone who's been generous enough to send us something, thank you. And I also hope we'll pop links to all of you because I know a lot of you are small local independents, and we like to do all we can to support people who are, as I say, entrepreneurial and trying to sort of climb up the ladder, as it were. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the show so far. That officially concludes the end of season 2. Yeah, that's it.
Wowzers.
And I think as years go, 2020 has been a bit of a dumpster fire for most people. It hasn't been the worst year in the world ever for us. I think we've been quite fortunate compared to most. You know, we've had some cool adventures, met some amazing people, and had some some life-changing experiences, I would say. So looking forward to 2021, looking forward to season 3, and hopefully this will be the year that we can get back to some sort of normality and you can give your loved ones a big squeeze, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I hope you're all staying safe and well. Thank you very much for any of you who've supported us by clicking the like button, sharing the videos, sharing your comments. To our patrons who have supported us directly through Patreon, that's amazing. It just blows my mind still that people are that kind. To all the people behind the scenes who you know who you are, Mr. X, I'm looking at you. That'll make more sense in the future. Thank you. You just, I'm totally blown away by the kindness and the generosity of so many people. So yeah, it means a lot. Hank, you gonna come say goodbye?
Come on.
Hey, there you go.
You want to be involved, don't you?
Hank, you gonna say goodbye?
Say goodbye.
You wanna say goodbye? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's it from us, and we'll see you soon for the start of season 3.
See you in 2021.
2021 it is. Bye for
Bye,
now.
guys. Next is Meow. Oh, I need to do that bit again now, don't I? And oh, and the belling system. Can you chop that last bit out?